And so we are live. Hello, everyone.
Hi,
So
everyone.
I have Yulia. Yes, I have Yulia with me. I'm super thrilled to have her. We know each other from quite a long time, I think 3 or 4 years when Alina was
When I
yet to
was
be born.
pregnant. Yeah, when I was
Yes,
pregnant.
yes. And I remember that you went on leave just for 3 months and you came back. And right after that, you organized a big event. And yeah, so rest is history, which we are going to discuss in today's video. Yulia's journey has been a really big inspiration. If you are following on her on Instagram, if you're not, I would suggest go and follow her on Instagram. She shares a lot of information, valuable information, actionable information about her life, her journey, which is very inspirational because she came from Russia, started from scratch, literally from zero. She has built, she worked in several roles. Um, uh, and then ended up heading marketing for one of the leading martech companies, SEMrush. She left her job in the pandemic year, in the historic year when all of us were, safeguarding our job. In that year, she left the job and she started on her own. And she has already superseded the money that she was making in her previous assignment as a full timer. So perhaps she has also doubled her productivity in that journey. So Yulia, over to you. Enough of me talking about you. I would like to hear a little bit from you. Uh, would like to start from how you came to India. I know you came here to buy an elephant, and would like to know a little bit about that story. uh, and
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
over to
true.
you.
So firstly, thank you so much for hosting me. It's really great pleasure to be here. And yeah, we know for pretty long time each other. And I'm so glad that the professional journey just led us to get introduced to each other. And in every kind of interview, any kind of podcast that I'm presenting, I know the first 2, 3 minutes is the most pleasant. People speaking so nice about me, which I never heard ever.
Which is
So,
true. Which is all
um,
true. You have
that's
earned it.
that's true. But when you see any influencer on any kind of social media platform, when you hear such kind of things, people feel inspiration. But people should know that every coin has two sides. It's always. So nobody's perfect. Nobody is so great as you just describing. And every kind of decision, every kind of move, shift in the life has other coin. So it just like maybe somebody will feel better because when I understood that, I felt better because sometimes I compared myself with somebody who's much more successful, and I was like thinking, what the hell I'm doing? But then I know that I never know what through struggles they went, how did they make decision, and what is on the other side, maybe some other points of their life are suffering. So that point is very important to keep. So we started, how did I land in India? So I actually, for first time ever, I came to India in 2012. um, I need to start with my university. I've always been A plus student. I got 100% scholarship from the school to one of the top universities in Russia. It's the third university in Russia. It's called Mining National University. And you know that Russia, the country which I'm originally from, is running by mining industry, oil, gas, gold, diamonds as well, in terms of mining, not production. The best cut is in India. So all these things are like the most stable and most paid job in Russia. It used to be, at least when I was graduating from school. My dream was to be a journalist. I never want to go to mining, understand all these minerals, never. But my mom, being smart enough, she never forced me, but she convinced me that that's a better way. I was not forced to go there, but I felt that it's my own decision already. I was pretty confident about it. So I went, I studied, and on the first semester, imagine the A plus student is receiving a B minus on the first semester. in this mining stuff, to understand these minerals, which was super tough for me. And the reason why, because we have such kind of ranking where it's not that how you pass, it's about how did you do according to others. So it was always competition inside of university itself, like how you rank inside of other students. And of course, all students who'd come, just let me shut my Telegram, who's come to the university, and university like 99% are absolutely free because it's a very rich university. It's sponsored by many companies. All of them been A+ students who came from all over the country. And of course, compete here is completely different story from competing in a very small town in a very small school. Why I'm saying that? It's played the most important role in my life. I failed in the right time. Because I failed very badly. I was a heartbroken person. I was a heartbroken teenager at that time. I was just 17. And imagine 17 years girl who was like always A+, who was following all the rules, who was doing everything what parents is saying, is failing. I felt like I'm absolutely useless. I can't study well. Like I felt that my parents will be very upset with me and they will not accept me back. I was really heartbroken. Finally, my parents said, that's okay, you pass the exam, is the most important, move on. But from my perspective, I understood, okay, if I can't study well, that's what was key takeaway. And I'm not able to compete with the smart guys. And that time I thought that they're smart. Let me start working. At least I can do something else that maybe will give me better outcome, because I really studied hard. It's not that I was lazy and I did nothing. I was really studying, but that was my capacity in money. And right. Let me start doing something else. And that's how I start working. And it played two important parts in my career. The first key takeaway is that I can fail and it doesn't mean much. And that means that also people whom I love, they will love me in any way. Did I fail or succeed? And it's not that important in the life. And the second, what I learned later, of course, not in that time, that any failure, because of some failure, you can move in such direction, which in the end of the day, people call the destiny. Because by this destiny, failing an exam, I landed in marketing. I started becoming a promoter, and then I grew, then I earned very good money. My mom could not believe that at the age of 21, I was earning more than all my family members, including my brother, who is an IT specialist. Now he's in the top position in the best, not the best, like the second biggest Russian IT company. He's in the top position. He's a top manager. So I was earning more than them. My mom could not believe in that time. And but when I was graduating from the university, what I developed because of this mistake, this failure, which I got in 6 months, which I faced immediately. I already had my own apartment, which I earned money, because I've been in the age of 20, I've been in marketing analytics, and between the role which was between marketing, sales, and analytics. I was selling the ad time in the cinemas, in the theaters, to the big companies, and I was earning the salary plus a very good commission if I sell the prime time to the company for 6 months. And of course, my commission, that's how I earned money for my first apartment. That's how I received a check of $45,000 once in my life as my income.
And how old were you?
I was 21 at that time.
Wow. You started really early, Yulia.
Because in the age of 17, I failed. Yeah. My pattern that I was thinking will bring me to success did not work out. And I decided, okay, if I'm useless here, let me try to do something else. And that's how I decided no money at that time because I already failed. Let me start doing something which is available now. The available stuff was for me to become a promoter in the shopping center, in shopping mall. Then I started growing there, understanding how to put much effort, how to sell to people. For marketer, it's extremely important to know how to sell at the end of the day, because that's what you do. You prepare people for buying the product. the items which you sell. Sales is a top high skill for any profession, because at the end of the day you need to sell yourself, because when you join the company you sell yourself the certain amount of time, right?
I think that starts from, selling your ideas to your parents to buy something, to your spouse to agree on something. Then it's on sales and negotiation with your professors, with your friends. I think it's a life skill rather.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's a life skill,
Yeah.
and that's a skill which I want to give to my daughter, to know how to present, to know how to hear a no, come back with such proposals that nobody can tell you no back. That's a life skill which is the most important, not in marketing. You don't need to be highly tech qualified. You don't need to know Google Analytics in the level super pro. You can be, but it's not the most important thing. It's not. You will get stagnant at a certain point if you don't know how to communicate well. So, coming back to your question, I'm replying very broad to just let people understand me a little bit more. When I was graduating from the university, what I had already in my plate, I had the first burnout, when I burnout from the company who paid me $45,000, because the company sometimes they feel that it was absolutely horrible because the way how people communicated. I already shifted to charity direction because it was something when I feel that I want to do something meaningful. The charity already scaled from being just a volunteer organization, becoming a proper fund where we start raising money, where we start expanding. I was graduating from the university because I promised my parents that I will graduate in any point, and but I told them that don't expect from me to have some kind of uh, high results in terms of I was just passing through exam. That became my strategy, just to pass through it, get it done, and finish it off. It was not important for me. It's A, it's B, it's B minus, whatever it is. I just need to pass. That was my kind of target. So I promised my parents that they will receive this diploma and this paper, and no matter what, because my mom was very worried that I will become undergraduate and I will just say that I don't want to do that. I'm leaving. I'm moving out. So on the day when I was graduating from the university, I realized I don't know what I want to do. Okay, charity will not give me much money, which I surely want to earn. I have a backup in terms of my own apartment, and I have the place to live. I had already some savings. By the way, what we discussed before the stream, that I'm super miser, who can live on any tight budget, no problem. It's absolute, like, I already had some savings to have. And I start thinking what I really want more. And I realized that the thing which I want much more than anything else to discover the world. And that's a point of time I heard about the international volunteering organization called ISEC. They also let people find professional internships. And I already been in sales, PR, marketing, analytics. And I said, okay, let me try to find some job abroad, to discover world abroad. Even here, the point that my English was really bad. Was really, really bad. But I decided, okay, whose English is good already has this job. And whose English is not bad, they're applying like me, because you pay some money to apply for it. So I applied actually, and I started thinking which country I want to go. I listed like 5 countries. And the countries was European countries. That's where I wanted to go. It was Italy, it was Spain, it was Singapore, and I don't remember 2 more. But Italy was on the top of my list. That place where I really felt like going. And because being young, having very less, no Italian, but a lot of confidence that I can, with the confidence that, okay, let me apply, because nobody, and it's a principle which I'm actually following till the time. Okay, sometimes I understand that I don't have enough skills, or I don't have something enough, but and most probably people will decline my proposal when I pitch it to the client. I think, okay, what would come in worse? They'll say me no. That's it. But if I will not try even, I never receiving no. So just to face the word no, not a big deal. Like, let me first face the word no. So I tried for 3 months, very hard, applying to each and every job, doesn't matter, even including receptionist in the hotel, anything, because I want to go to Italy. And they declined me everywhere, because no Italian. Of course, it's so obvious for me now. Zero Italian, except the word ciao, and still, which I don't know. That's it. And they were declining. And I realized that the time frame where I have to apply to receive the job, which I paid for to give access to this job openings, vacancies from all over the world, is getting over. And now I have just 2 weeks to find company. Otherwise, my money will be wasted. My plan is completely destroyed because I had no clue what to do after it, because I already decided that I'm going abroad to work. So the country with the maximum job vacancies, guess which country it was, with the maximum job vacancies available for interns. It was India. You're muted, I think, Nidhi. I think you're muted.
Yes. So was it India? Because of course you landed here ultimately.
Yeah,
And I
that
guess
was India.
Jaipur, yeah, Jaipur was the, yeah.
That was
Okay.
in the, I've seen like 150 openings. I applied because my time was ticking. I have to do that fast to receive the job offer before they will close the access.
The window. Yes.
So I picked up the company from Jaipur, didn't go through the history much, and decided, okay, Italy, India, what starting from I? So if not Italy, I'm going to India. I applied. I got selected very quickly. It was a travel agency in Jaipur. I
Okay.
have no clue how did I pass through the interview speaking, because my English was very poor, but somehow I passed. And then I told my parents, because they were asking me, what are you doing? I decided to keep the stress level a little bit low. I said, I'm looking for a job. I'm thinking what to do. And anyways, they could not say me much. I also want to point here, because I already lived independently. I did not ask money. I had my flat. They could not force me to do anything, because I'm living how I want. I'm not asking money. I'm living in my own apartment. Uh, I'm doing something or another, which my mom is seeing that I'm healthy, I have food, and everything is fine. So I got selected for India, and once I got selected, I told my family that, you know what, I'm going for an internship for 6 months to India. My parents was not just shocked. It's a very simple word. It's a very, like, I can't explain how my parents were really shocked when I said that I'm going to India, because India was undiscovered country in that time. The only place which we knew is Goa, and I was going to continental India, Rajasthan.
And that remains your favorite still.
Yeah, I like Jaipur. I like Jaipur Rajasthani food. It's really, really nice. So they were trying to convince me not to do that. But in financial independence is extremely important stuff. When you have money, they can try convince, they can give their points, why I should not do that. But at the end of the day, the decision lies on you. And I'm so sure, if on that time I would live on my parents' money, I could not do that. I could not make such decision. So I came to Jaipur. Um, that was a place where I started really learning in English. I was chatting with my boss on Google Translate because
Oh, okay.
I could not understand anything what people are saying around. I had my favorite phrase: please speak slowly. That was something I was saying to everybody, because the speed of their speech was unbelievable for me. I could not understand anything. So the internship went okay. I was doing connection between Russian and Russian agencies to the travel agency there. It was a travel company that want to receive Russian tourists. So I was pitching to Russian big tour operators about their services, and they called it PR. It was not, of course, PR. It was, again, people think that PR is a sales. So since I'm okay with sales, I was okay to do that. Otherwise, if they will hire like kind of absolutely 100% PR person, I think person will freak out if they would say to the person to do so. But I was learning my English. I was I joined some dancing class. I had guys from all over the world who had come to for the internship. I completely changed. India and Russia is so different. I felt that it's absolutely different planet. So it's very good for mind. And when I was leaving India after 5 months, I realized that it's out of my comfort. I really enjoyed a lot. I traveled everywhere by train, by buses, by anything, being intern and having a very small income. But thank God, again, I have savings, so I was able to afford more than any other interns, and at least not to compromise on food or something, just the normal stuff. And when I was leaving, I thought that I'm really thankful to this country first to show me that you don't need to work like all my parents, all my family members are working in the companies. And I always see the only corporate way of growing yourself. And here I think that a lot of people are entrepreneurs and they work 3-4 hours in a day and they live much better than my parents because they earning much more than my parents. And I thought that maybe that's something which I need to learn from them. Not to work 14 hours or 12 hours or put in all your efforts to help somebody else to earn a lot of money. How to become that person who's earning and who's working 3 hours or 4 hours in a day, and the rest of the time they read, they attend something. There are so many things that I wanted to learn. And I started from scratch, absolutely from scratch here in India. So I improved my English, uh, let's say in Hindi, Toro, not really that fantastically well, but I improved it. I at least was start able to communicate without Google Translate. Went back to
But
my
I
country.
would like to take a moment, Yulia, because this is very key here, and in India especially, because all of us speak English. English is a
Mhm,
secondary language for us.
mhm.
In fact, primary language, so as to say in schools nowadays. A lot of people think that if they don't know English, it's very difficult to succeed. And you are a living example. You didn't know Hindi, the national language. You were just starting to speak English. All you knew was Russian, and obviously nobody speaks Russian here. In fact, in schools also French is the language which is taught, or Spanish at all, if at all. You came here. I don't know how you gained courage to decide from Russia to come to India, such a diverse, huge, and it might be looking difficult also from outside looking country. You came here with a different culture, different language, totally different sort of people. You not only cracked the language, you actually got married, established a business. This is remarkable, and I think we should all take a moment and say that if we think English is a barrier, it is not. And you are
You need to know English. See, right now, I'm able to communicate. I make mistakes, I make grammar mistakes. My pronunciation is not American or any kind of native speaker, right? Before, I was feeling shame about it. I was feeling embarrassed. And when I start working with very big companies, and most of them from the US, and when I start seeing people from America who is really not very smart, and the only advantage which they have is their language. So I decided that actually it's not the key point. If they speak American, they're not better than me. They could be stupid, they could be lazy, they could be not street smart. So why shall I feel somewhere undergrade myself? Why shall I undergrade myself just only because the English is fluent? Of course, the English will be fluent because it's their motherland, mother tongue. I'm fluent in Russian, of course, absolutely. But if I make some small minor mistake, I forget, I don't know, my pronunciation is not great or something, people at least can understand me, know what I say. They can communicate. I am able to deliver the message. And I understood that there is no point to shy. There is no point to go to the courses where they will tell me we will make your pronounce as a UK person or as a American person and pay them money, because I in any way don't have no plans to work in call center, so I don't need their pronunciation that much. I just need to deliver my message, and that's it. I don't need more. They shall be content enough that I'm speaking on their language, which is not my mother tongue, and I'm able to communicate. So the first step, which you and also when people feel in India here, because you're in your own environment, right, and you have a lot of people to compare with. Like I have nobody to compare with. Half Russia still don't speak English.
Yeah.
So
That's a very good point. Yeah.
for me,
Very
even
good perspective to look to if you are scared of going out, actually one very good point is you can go out because you won't be judged there. But I don't want to subdue and give you credit, and I want to give you complete credit to have that determination to learn and not language being the barrier to say, oh, I can't do it because I can't speak the same language. I mean, that's a very, very strong takeaway in my uh,
you should
it's
not
what I
we
think.
should some kind of cut off this feeling of being embarrassed. If you feel embarrassed about the English or anything and anywhere, it's a barrier for you, for your growth. You're embarrassed, forget embarrassed in front of whom? You are growing, you are learning. Just know on your own that you are growing and you're learning, and you do it successful, you're not doing successful. As I say, to become a master in anything, you just need to put 10,000 hours. So just if you will speak 10,000 hours non-stop in English and put all efforts to learn grammar, believe me, you will be very good at that. But the question, do you really need to be such great in English? Or you want to be professional in something? Or you want to develop other soft skills which will help you to get employed by any company, or you want to be a good networker to establish your network connections. So you need to understand, why do you need it? If you want to go to call center, go for it. Go for perfect English, perfect pronunciation, speak as American, speak as a UK. But I don't think that anybody is really thrilled to become a call center guy. I have full respect for them. For example, my husband's brother, he started from scratch on the age of 30. Right now, he is some top position in PwC in India,
Okay.
and early he been CEO or something like big corporate, on the top corporate level here. And when he started, because they bankrupt in their business, and the money was like minus, not zero, minus. And he was 31 or 32, and he has no zero kind of background from the corporate world. He started from call center, and he grew from there. And now he is, I don't know, I think either he is a senior vice president, I think, in PwC, what I remember.
Okay.
So I have nothing against of people who works in call center, but it should not be your ultimate goal for the life. Because the world is much more. You can do much more than just picking up and answering the technical question. So when I came back to Russia, the charity which I was working with, and that point of time, when I was searching for the internships, these 3 months, we were transforming from charity fund into social enterprise, where we realized the huge problem that charity needs to sustain on its own money instead of being dependent on the money from people who donate, right? Because if you, for example, we were working with orphans, and if you start any educational program with orphans, you need money. And if money stops, for example, something happened with the key donators who is sponsoring the charity, you have to stop the program in the middle, and the kid would achieve zero result. So to sustain it and to really lead into result in your activity, you need to be financially independent. That's actually everywhere, not about charity. Everywhere you have to be financially independent. So we created a business pitch. We had a few very, very influenced, it's not sponsorship, it's donators. It's called donator. People who used to donate a kind of decent amount of money. And we created a business plan with my partner. She's a psychologist, kids psychologist. And we just pitched to everybody who was donating us money regularly, and said them, if you can we become a social enterprise? Do you want to invest in us instead of donating every time? And when I came from India, and also in the time when I used to work in India, We will keep growing, we will keep pitching. I was joining on Skype, and that point of time we all were using Skype, and one person found it's interesting as an idea, and we at the end of the day we close seed round, $1 million. And when I was coming back from India to Russia, firstly I was thinking that I never would be back, because I thought, okay, I've seen India, I discovered it pretty well because I traveled everywhere. Imagine, from Rajasthan I went to Goa by train. Like I've seen, I think, most of the parts of India. I think that why shall I go to the same country where the world is so big? I will go to some other country. And also, honestly speaking, the cultural shock was too much, where I could not find my zone of comfort. And I thought, oh no, India, no, I'm not coming back. I've seen, I enjoyed, I learned. It was pretty interesting. I improved my English. I'm going back to my country. I start driving social enterprise, which I was dreaming about because it has social impact. It's meaningful. We finally could have some salary, which were pretty okay, just normal salary to have on our own. So we don't need, so we can focus on something really which is inspiring, interesting, and when you see why you're doing that. And that's how I was working for 2 years. But in the middle, my partner, she got pregnant, and her pregnancy was pretty difficult one. So she was completely out of the business, and I started running everything on my own. The team of 20, the report to the main investor, the dealing with, we rented 6,000 square feet commercial space where we opened the kids space. Everything should be managed. You have to see the standards. Some government or stuff is coming, so everything should be changed. And I literally worked 24/7, like literally for 2 years. And in the middle, I even had experience when I shift to the office, because my apartment was 45 minutes away from the office. And office was in the center of St. Petersburg. And I realized that I'm spending 45 minutes one way and more than 1 hour other way, because if I'm going in the peak time, on the prime time, and it's not working well for me. In the kids center, we had a shower. I bought just a cupboard, put a bed, and I decided I will live here since it's more effective. It's a very bad way. Never do that. Never. I would never suggest to anybody to go through it. So, and imagine I'm just 23 in that time, 23, 24, and everything just running nonstop from everywhere. This government, somebody's coming, the profit is falling down for some other reason. The orphanage needs more money to support them. We used to call European teachers who used to work with kids disorders, brain disorders mostly, and they were from Finland and Denmark. The ruble started going fluctuating, and the salaries of teachers also were sometimes unpredictably high for us. So all of this was happening, and at the end of the day, I felt sick. It was nothing that major. I have a very weak lungs from childhood. For 15 years, I had asthma. I was born and almost immediately developed asthma, being a small baby. So something went wrong with my lungs. I was coughing 3-4 months, and it was not going away. I was keep spending money on different tests, and at the same time, I was keep working. I would never forget that when I was there's a mouth virus infection, which is very common in kids' place, when you picked up and then you threw up pretty often. I remember the time when I used to picking up from the kids who used to come to the play center in the morning, getting up feeling that I can't even walk. Somehow managing to reach the private clinic was just 50 meters away, and the reaching out was that I was running the last 10 minutes just to reach out the pot, because I was literally not one. Then they were putting some kind of injection in my blood to keep me okay. I was catching up taxi and going for some meetings to work, and coming back again to the hospital to do injection just to feel that I can survive. When I realized that everything is going not great, I really literally tired. I've not had any off. I don't have any personal life. I don't have any boyfriend, nobody, because I could not. I all my friends,
Right.
yeah, all my friends have some kind of excitement, and they travel at least, or they do something or another. I have nothing. I just work. I just work, 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 and I realized that I can't work more. That was my first burnout, and that was my first realization that work can't be just a life, even if you love it. You because I love working. I'm absolutely workaholic, but work could not be everything. You need to draw the line somewhere and
And
have.
this realization you had at the age of 23.
Yes, yes. I was
And
23.
while most of us, I think, who most of us, at least for myself, I was still studying, chilling on my parents' money. I had no stress apart from just going to college and cribbing about college and the stress there. And you were having real life experiences. Sorry, I interrupted because I just wanted to put it out there. You started really early and you have those life experiences way, much before we could experience those. We started after, I mean, I completed my master's and then I started my job, and perhaps this phase of my life came a lot much later, and I had these experiences a lot later, which you had really early on your career, and I'm sure that it shaped you in great ways, and we know that it did. Sorry,
It
please
helped me.
continue.
It helped me to get matured faster than what we say.
Correct.
That's why, for example, my husband is 17 years elder than me,
Correct,
and
yeah, I
uh,
know.
and he got married to me when I was 26, 25, and he said that I never felt that you are 25. When he said that when I was 25, I was such a child, and you are not,
Correct.
because of like experience.
Most of us are.
So when I realized it, and the key point why I decided to leave everything, because I realized that when I need help on my own, and I'm actually at the end of the day, I'm trying to help somebody else, because that was a impact which we want to make in social enterprise. I can't help anybody when I need help on my own. I need help on my own. So I can't help anybody. When I accepted it, I felt much lighter and much better. And that point of time, I almost immediately told my partner that I'm sorry, we're either shutting it off, everything here, going to the donator and telling that he can hire somebody to run this organization, because it was 35 people who was working under me at that time. And I
Wow.
said, we need to do something. I'm out because I can't live like this. I am sick. I need to improve my health. I'm mentally absolutely drained out. I'm done. And I right now I'm in kind of stage when I can't help anybody except I need to help myself first. And we created a plan of my exit, because her child was 1.5 years old and she was able to pick up some parts. I was able to relocate my job and to multiple people. I did full some kind of loyal formality to just do the exit. And in the middle, when I started doing it, I started thinking, okay, what I want to do. I didn't have much savings at that point of time, because a charity still is not a company which will pay you that well. I had some savings, of course, but not that like how I used to save much more early when I used to be a student and working for a commercial organization. I start thinking what I want, and I realized the first climate in St. Petersburg is not suiting me. I'm coughing because of the bad climate, because it's very cold and it's very the humidity level is very high, and because of this I'm always falling sick. I have running nose and coughing nonstop. I have to change the climate. Point one. Point two, I want to change completely. I don't want to do charity ever. That's what I thought. I want to go back to commercial, something very clear. Okay, let's accept I failed. I can't make impact on anybody in the world. Let me make impact on myself. But I was working very hard. And communication is my strength. I can communicate with anybody. I have no problem, and I can find any contact. That's my strength. And in St. Petersburg, I think I knew so many people. So many people knew me because the charity was pretty loud. We were doing non-stop PR. We were working with the top media. I know top journalists. I knew top corporates who used to help charity because we were doing it calls social responsibility of business. So we were doing pretty much with top companies in Russia. So I knew a lot of people. So I decided, okay, let me tell people firstly that I'm out, and secondly that I'm looking for some interesting job in a warm climate. It could be Russia, it could be anywhere abroad, doesn't matter, but the climate should be warm. And I want to shift completely into commercial model. I don't mind to go back to sales, because sales, I realize it's a job where you just need to sell. You sell, you receive good money. So it's pretty simple job. So when I spread the word, I got a company from Russian circus who wanted to buy an elephant from India. And they knew that
Oh,
I
so
already
that's
been in
how.
India. Yes.
Right.
And they said, see, we know that you've been in India. You spent 5 months here. Can you buy an elephant for us in India? And we will sign a contract with you. We will pay your salary for 6 months research how to do that. And we will send you to India on our cost. We will rent you, like, they will cover my basic costs, right? They will pay me salary to. So I said, fine, perfect. India is a warm country, short contract, which will help me in 6 months to understand how I'm moving on with my life later. And that's how I came to India. Second time. I realized that I can't
Perfect.
stay in Jaipur because the climate is extreme, and it's also cold, and it was absolutely out of my question. I don't want to go cold climate at all. And I want to go to expat friendly place. That's how I googled that Bangalore is expat friendly, the climate 25 degrees by Celsius through the year. So that I realized, okay, that's how I landed in Bangalore, knowing
Wow.
zero people in Bangalore. I
Oh
landed,
my God.
I got connected with Russian community to Russian community. And the second, my good friend, she made a job shift, and she shifted to the top jewelry factory in Russia, like the second biggest jewelry factory in Russia. And they were looking for diamond supplies. And my diploma project was done in gold and diamonds. That was my diploma project in the mining university. So when I uh,
And look who is here. Olga is here. Your friend, our
yeah,
friend
always
rather.
like that
Hi, Olga. The story about the elephant is my favorite one. In fact, I was way too curious to hear it because on Instagram also Yulia said that I'll cover it some other day, and I couldn't find any other post talking about it. So I was looking forward to it.
so yeah, when I say that I can buy and sell elephant, believe me, I can buy and sell anything. So, and at the same time, she told me that we can have a kind of commission-based relationship when we do trades in gemstones and diamonds. And perfectly, it also was fit that I already knew a little bit about diamonds and gold. I knew about the different cuts and etc. Gemstones, Jaipur is a world capital of gemstones. So if they need to buy gemstones from Jaipur, and so I decided I will work on these two projects. After certain age, I realized that I don't want to create long-term plans and tell you that in 20 years I will be somebody. I have no clue whom I'm gonna be in 20 years. I just have like 1 year ago, and I'm going to it. If it would change in the middle, it's okay with me. Life can change. But I'm not a long-term planner. I realize that it's better to live by small sprints, achieve them, and then to see by the situation where you want to move on. I kind of accept the best agile principles, which usually organization run, to my own life. And that's how I manage my life now. So I came to India, I had two projects. One project was covering my expenses, and I had at the end of the day, by the success, some commission for the elephant. Second was diamonds and gemstones, and that's how I start working here. First 3 months, everything was going great. We realized that in India, it's absolutely not possible to buy elephant. Elephant is a holy animal here. Nobody would say it. Nobody would sell it, especially to the circus. It's just not possible. But the country which can sell it is Sri Lanka. They can sell it. And it could be bought. I learned a lot about international law, how exotic animals should be transported, how exotic animals I should be.
So from one to sales to marketing to I mean you did it all. Like there was no stopping anywhere. I think there's also a question that says, yeah, this is very interesting. How actually did the circus company find you?
Very simple. I wasn't charity. Circus company is very big in Russia, and I once upon a time was pitching them, and they were giving us free tickets for orphans every month, kind of bulk tickets. And the circus
Okay.
is pretty expensive in Russia. The good shows they cost like, for example, 3,000 rupees per seat. And imagine if you take whole orphanage, like 50 kids.
Okay.
50 kids, but calculate 3,000, it's a lot of money, right? But if we have a kind of, social responsibility speaking with them, that's how I got to know their PR director, commercial director, because they all been involved in releasing free tickets for orphans. And I was giving them some reports after it, happy faces of kids who attended their shows, the feedback, the quotes, some other stuff. I was establishing relationship with them, so I could go to circus, to the it's a government organization. It's a very rich, and they always say that they were poor, but that's not the truth. They're pretty rich organization, and I could go to top level anywhere. So because of social responsibility, so they knew me, and when I was, of course, uh, doing my exit, of course, I introduced to the new colleague who's supposed to be a communication channel for them with the charity, because it should not stop. The tickets still shall be released for the kids, right? And that's how they approached, because they said, what next? Because I was very open. I'm telling you, I'm very transparent. And I have nothing to hide. So I was very open and transparent. I said, you know what? I burn out. I realized that on my own, I need help now. My health is very bad. I worked 24 hours by 7 for 2 years. I really I'm done. And they said, what are you doing next? I said, I don't know. The only two things which I know, I want to go to proper commercial organization. I want to go to sales department, most probably. And I want to relocate from St. Petersburg to some warm place. That's three, what I said, that only three pillars I have, that I want, know three things. As the rest, I don't know. And that's how they approached me. Because when they heard
Wow.
that we had such project, do you want to pick it up? I said, yeah, I'm happy. So I came to India. I started doing this and that. The boat was going well. Like elephants, I was planning to go to Sri Lanka. Then the buyer for gemstones and for diamonds had come. They did the first deal. I received my first commission, and that's in the middle we got introduced to my husband, because he knows a lot of diamonds people. He been born and brought up in the South Mumbai, and his all school friends, not all, but a lot of school friends, actually in diamond business, and they're diamond traders. And Bandra, there's a diamond district here, a big building.
Yeah.
So he knows a lot of people there. We were very open and very transparent with him. We decided that whatever commission I will get from buyer and I will get from buyer and he will get from seller, we will do 50-50. Like the whole commission, we just, as a partner, we will just split between each other. So that's how we got to know each other. That's how we started communicating more. That's how we actually became friends. Because in the middle, I fell sick, I got dengue. And I had to relocate to his house because, as I said to you, I came to Bangalore with zero connections. And after dengue, it was not a great idea to shift back to the... I signed the agreement with landlord. And that point of time, I just signed. And landlord declined to accept me in such kind of health situation after dengue. And they said that I have to live with somebody who can take care of me. And that's how I got introduced. I stayed in his house. I got introduced to his parents, who is my parents-in-law now. That's how the other story began. And since I said to you that my husband is elder than me, he was looking for marriage. I was not looking for marriage. I, in general, was not keen to marry. I was like, when it would happen, it would happen. It's okay. Like, I want to have some relationship. I want to have life partner. I want to be in love. It's a wonderful feeling, but I'm not for marriage here. But
You
when
want to be married.
yeah, because I thought that like I can do it later and etc. So But Anil was very straightforward. He said to me, we need to decide. I'm 42 in that point of time he was. And he said that I don't want to waste time. After 2 years, you will break up with me. And I again have to stay in the same place where I will need to look for the wife. I'm looking for the wife. And he said to me, you either marry me, either we are breaking up. And I left to Russia back with idea that we are breaking up because I was not ready for marriage. And at that
Okay.
point of time, I realized that I miss him so much, and that there are the chances that after 10 years, I will regret that I miss somebody in my life who could be the right one for me. And that's how we got married after, I think, like we decided to get married after 3 months when we were start dating. So it's happened very quickly. And why my diamond and elephant business did not work? Because Russian ruble crashed very badly because of Crimea situation. When Russia acquired Crimea and the war happened between Ukraine and Russia, both currencies, Ukrainian and Russian, crushed. And imagine at one point of time, I am actually, India is a cheap country was for me. I'm going to see any price, I'm converting it by habit into rubles and having like half of the cost because a ruble was 1 ruble. Uh,
Stronger.
yeah, double. It was
Right.
1 ruble was equal to 2 rupees, and in 3 weeks or 2 weeks, a ruble is becoming half of rupee. So I have to calculate everything double, everything. And that point of time, the Russian circle stopped replying to me, and they did not pay me salary, which is supposed to come to cover my expenses. The diamond is saying that we don't know, we shall stop it for now. We did one deal, it was successful because we don't know if luxury products as diamonds and gemstones will be affordable and there will be some demand because a huge economic crisis is going on. So we really don't know, will it work or no? We don't buy diamonds anymore. And I'm left over in India. In that point of time, Anil and I, we were just friends, alone. With no salary, with a rent which I need to pay to cover all my expenses, with a very weak ruble, where I see that, like, imagine I had X savings, most of them being in rubles, and I see that they just become in 3 weeks half immediately. Because I had my apartment which I gave for rent, it was bringing me income, and it was covering my apartment which I was renting here, could cover. But I did not touch this money. So in that point of time, my brother came and helped me because I had Amazon stock. He done it. I'm bad in investment. I do it actively through my husband, either through my brother. I'm pretty blondie.
I can relate. I can tell you, I can relate, completely relate. Like I was telling you offline that even I am now taking charge of my financials and everything. But I think most of us are financially very illiterate, or financially, even if we are aware, we don't do stuff because we think earning money is more important than investing it. But it is actually not true. Yeah.
It's not
So,
true because it helped me in multiple ways. I sold my Amazon stock, which I bought for some small money because my brother was really looking forward when they do IPO. He's done some crazy stuff, being non-American to buy American stock. How he's done it, don't ask me. I don't know details. But I said my brother, like from the age when I started earning, and in that point of time, we were earning equal because my salary was very good as a sales and marketing. That were the time I earned for my apartment. So I said, okay, I'm giving you so much money. I'm transferring to my broker account. You do what you want. That's like login access. And after it, I don't know what's happening, but you do. The investment you do for yourself, do in a smaller scale for me because I can't invest that much, but at least something. So I sold my stock. It helped me to survive. I also found some freelance project that also helped me to survive in PR. And I was planning actually not to go back to Russia. My only target was not to go back to Russia and when it's very cold in winter because of my health. And I thought that, okay, business did not work out, but at least I have to improve my health. I can't go back to the same what I actually ran away. I can't go back in winter. I'm fine to go back in spring, closer to summer. So I have to survive. I have visa. I have tickets back. I have to survive till the end of spring. And I actually survived. And that's we start because I got more free time. I start partying with Anil. We became boyfriend and girlfriend. Then he approached me for marriage. Then I made decision no. Then I made decision yes. Then I told my parents. My parents got heart attack. I went through all kind of possible drama that usually happens in love marriage from India, when parents does not agree and they say everything. I experienced it on my own when my mom said no, 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 no. But at the end of the day, being independent, earning, being stubborn, I of course got somehow permission, and I went back to India and married Daniel. And here my professional career again started from scratch because elephant deal did not work out. They still owe me some money. That they did not pay me. Then diamond stopped in that point of time. Nothing worked out, and I realized that okay, I have Anil, but I need to become somebody too. It's not my way that I will become a housewife. So I started looking for a job. For 2 months, I got declined everywhere, every single place. And for every single place, I was remaking my CV to get suitable for the job opening which I see. And everywhere was saying no, 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 because of language, because of I don't know anything in marketing. I don't know much in sales here. I can't sell in India because of mentality. People thought so. So when I got the first breakup in startup, I was so extremely happy. It's a startup called Beehive Workspace. It's a leading co-working space in Bangalore. I'm so thankful to guys, to co-founders, that they took me in that point of time. They seen in me something that led them say, okay, we are taking you as a marketing manager. And here again, everything started. I had working hard. I was working 14, 15 hours, 16 hours in a day. And then after
So, Yulia, sorry, I have a question for you, right? Like, um, first of all, I would like to acknowledge that when we talk about job-related issues, we talk about something that's happening in our house, something that's happening with us, or something that's happening as broad as our nation. But here, in Yulia's case, we are talking about internations, something that's happening in Russia, and in Russia and cross borders is impacting her because ruble is becoming weak, so her monetary stance is changing. Something not happening with her family in India, but something abroad. So I mean, and she has overcome those kind of challenges. So I think when we feel stuck, I think we are feeling stuck because we are only having one very limited viewpoint. I'm sure, Yulia, now when we are looking back, it sounds a lot easier when you are narrating it with a lot more ease. But I think when this was happening with you, it was really, really difficult and super challenging because if I'm in a new country, I have only limited number of people to bank on. I don't know how you managed all of it.
see, I will tell you, I'm a very emotional person. I can cry in my room a lot. I think that the life is over. But something is making me, okay, stop crying. Okay, let's think what could be done. Let's try it. And when you actually, like, when you fell down as much as you can, there is only one way you should come up,
Go
right?
up, yeah.
There is no any other way. You're already down. You already fell down. You can't. You have to survive. And the second thing, what also I learned, I start working with a therapist, a psychology therapist, in the age of 22, because of multiple reasons. Because I was going through difficult times in general, and I still continue working. It helps. Like very less people in India say that they work with therapists. I'm very open. I'm telling you that the best investment you can do in yourself. If you're stuck, if you really feel down, if you feel down for a long time, that's the first step. If you feel that maybe can be called as a depression, go and take professional help. Don't buy new dress, don't buy new jacket, buy simple food, but find this money to get mentally healed. It's the most important thing. Find a great therapist and follow the steps. Open your heart, receive the right advice, uh, get inner strength in yourself. I work like I'm 30 now. It's 8 years. 8 years I work with a therapist. Sometimes I work regularly, weekly. Sometimes I work, I don't don't have anything too much to expand, I work like once in 3 months. Sometimes I need the help and I work twice in a week. When during the SEMrush marketing show, which also was very, very pressurized on me, I was having 2 sessions per week with a therapist.
Oh my gosh.
Because I really did not know, will it be success or will it be a big disaster that I have to deal with? Because I really did not know. India is such a country which buy tickets in the last minute, and it's very stressful for event organizer. So I suggest, if you want to improve the quality of your life, find the right therapist, psychologist that you can work with. Find the right coach who can help you to develop new neural connection and to find the exit from any situation you are. Invest into some great, maybe it's very small money, that starting from the small, start meditate. And it's very difficult to meditate. Buy some access to some app. Pay this, I don't know, $5, $10, whatever, $20. Pay for it, start meditating, try to invest in yourself instead of investing something else, even instead of investing into Amazon stock, even to invest into Bitcoin. Forget it, invest in yourself. That's something which you can always rely on. That's somebody whom you should have a full trust and full faith that in respect whatever situation would happen in the life, I will survive. That's some kind of confidence I have in my life now. Any situation would happen in the life, I will survive. I will manage and I will come out of it. That's something which I want to encourage everybody. There is nothing to be ashamed. Take help.
That's I think in India, you very rightly said that we don't take any kind of help, especially when it comes to mental health. And I think it's extremely important that the level of stress, especially in 2020, the historic year, has led us to several things. And I think getting that help helps a lot. I know my husband is a coach, and whenever I have felt lost many times in 2020, and I always had the support system in the home itself. And I totally relate when you say then when the stressful times are really heavy, you might be speaking to them twice, in fact, thrice or perhaps daily, because that helps. And also, it's very important, many people I speak to, they say that, oh, I have friends to talk to. But these friends always come with the baggage, with the pre-existing context, and with that context comes biases, with that context comes a different kind of empathy. But when you go to someone else who is having a third person point of view, who is having a fresh perspective, it's relieving, it's super helpful. And I totally relate to what you're saying.
There is one more point, that not only that they already carrying some baggage, they know you, etc. That coaches, especially, I'm so sure you know, especially coaches, they learn the techniques how to heal you. It's their profession. Actually, psychology has such the same rules as mathematics has. It's as strict as mathematics. It's the same science which people take for granted, but it has their own rules. It's like people use it now a lot in user behavior in marketing, right? In consumer behavior, because it's also built on psychology level, how people think. So when you take a help of professional person, he helps you. He's trained for it. He knows which question to ask, and he knows some techniques how to release your stress. For example, I know now that working so long with psychologists, that all my stress is getting stuck here. And that's why I had lung problems, because they said that mental and physical health is all connected, right? It's getting, so I just sit and trying to relax this part of my body, like really open it up and rest it, and it helps. It really helps. So take a professional help, because they learned it. They know much more than you. They know the techniques. So take a help of professional, and there's no harm to do that.
I'm sorry, I'm just putting the charger. Sorry to interrupt. Yes, and I completely agree, Yulia. That's a very strong point, and I think that helps you rebound every time. You go down and then you come up. Like you said, there is only one way is to come up. Very valid point. Uh, we'll continue with your story and then I'll interrupt in the middle.
So then my story pretty simple. After I had been deported from India in the middle because I had business minor relation, but Faro decided that they don't want to go into details, and just they put me in a blacklist, and the list were all terrorists and people dangerous for the country. My husband is a big fighter. He went and just landed in the house of Rajnath Singh. At that point of time, he'd been responsible for such cases with no connection, with zero kind of that somebody will just push him and share and something. Just directly found the number when they explained the situation, spoke to him, to Rajnath Singh. Rajnath Singh put some signature on my file, which made it move and which made me to come out from the blacklist. Because when he explained my relation, I've had relation, but I had to be penalized by the law by 4,000 rupees instead of being blacklisted. It was 2015 or 2016. And that point of time, I had no choice as I moved working remotely. That's why I'm now promote remote work. And the funny part about which I also want to say is that, and that year, usually every year, I write some kind of goals, high level goals, what I want to achieve. And I was writing that in September, it was 2015 or 16, I want to shift and work remotely. And in September, I've been blacklisted from India and I start working remotely. Wow. So be careful with your dreams and goals when you're writing down. And after joining remote world, I never come back to the office, and it helped me in multiple ways. Then I changed the company. I gained the change company. I found SEMrush, wonderful company with very, very progressive way of working with employees. In that point of time, they accepted me when I had very, very limited knowledge about digital marketing. SEMrush, because my communication skills again is playing a very important pattern that I can convince anybody that I can do it. Okay, I don't know it, but I can do it. Don't worry about it. So I grew inside of the company. We've done this marketing conference. In the middle, I gave a birth to our daughter. I had only 3 months maternity leave. It was absolutely my decision to go back because I realized that I'm a good mother, but part-time mother. If I have to be full-time mother, it will drive me mad. I can't think non-stop about diapers, baby rash, or something else. I have to focus on other things. Otherwise, the whole house will go mad with me and nobody will be happy here. So we made a decision. I shift back to the company. I picked up a bigger project that I could carry in that time. And Olga, who dropped the comment here, she was the one who is actually was moving a very huge train, because sometimes I had no energy to do that. Like I really literally had no energy to do to move that train called SEMrush Marketing Conference. I really had no energy. And she was the one who was moving so many tasks, moving so many impossible things, making them done. So without her help, without her leading kind of attitude, nothing would happen. So finally we conducted, it became a grand success when all tickets got sold out, when we received like a huge spike in brand mentions. Yeah.
And it was huge, guys. I mean, SEMrush Marketing Conference in 2019 was one of the reasons this channel exists. But aside, it was a huge conference. I think over 2,000 marketing folks from across India, a lot of speakers from abroad. I don't know what kind of energy and mind space and physical efforts it requires. Yulia, I don't know how you were doing it with Elena and how many hours you were putting in. It was a phenomenal success, and it was reflected in the kind of professionalism it was executed from.
It was a teamwork. It was not only me, as I said. Olga was very important. Olga Andrienko, who is the head of global marketing. When we had from event, we hired an agency who could help us. It was a teamwork. It was a lot of people on the backstage. A lot of people knew me because I was in India and I was in the front. Like whatever happened, good happened, I'm facing it. Slapped happened, slapped first coming on me. I'm facing
of course. Yes, of
So
course, it cannot happen without a team, but then each and every member, I'm sure it was really exhausting, but it was all worth it.
it was exhausting. In the middle, I realized that it was a bad idea with a 1-year-old child to do that, the kind of initiative. Because I'm a travel person, I always take initiative. Like, I don't wait where somebody will tell me something to do. I always will tell that I have already so many things to do. Let's do that more, more, more. That's how, that's my attitude, that's my nature. So
Yeah.
my husband helped me a lot to manage a child. We had a nanny in that point of time, which was not that helpful, but still we had her, who was helping us to manage at least some point of time. So my in-laws are very supportive. They're amazing. So they supported as much as they can. So with all this kind of joint efforts, we were able to manage it. But I again burnout. I again got super tired. I made a decision in September 2019 that I gotta move because I need a break and I need to think what I'm gonna do next. Because in that point, because it started much earlier, right? The SEMrush marketing show as a marketing campaign, it came on October, but it was of course already well planned and already more budget and everything. A lot of other things on background has been done. A lot of money has been spent at that point of time. So I realized that and I told the company that I'm moving out immediately after the conference. I will just complete the conference stuff, to do the all post-event needful stuff, to thank people, to connect, to ensure the sales are connected with important people, where the sales or upgrade accounts can happen. And then I will move. So I moved on 2 months. I've done nothing. I literally done nothing. I was just sleeping like an elephant. I was uh, playing with Elena. We fired Nani because she was pretty useless. Then we went for a month to Goa. My mom came to Goa. We celebrated my birthday. We stayed 1 month next to the sea. And then I realized, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to do something. I healed myself. I slept enough because I had such a huge lack of sleep. Then when people met me at SEMrush marketing conference, they thought that I'm drunk or something, because I was like for a week sleeping 1.5, 2 hours maximum.
Oh my
And,
gosh.
and I was absolutely done. And when it's everything happened, I felt such relief that everything is moving on, everything is going well. But I was literally out of my senses because the lack of sleep which I experienced in the like 4 months, my dark, circles here, I think was still my chin, that I was feeling that I'm done. And I was like sleeping, eating, playing, zero stress, zero calls, because my phone literally was a call center at some point of time, and I was enjoying it. Then once I realized that I want to do something, I just thought I want to start working again. I did not know what I want to do. Start working again. And that point of time, I got my first client through the reference and connections, thanks to SEMrush, because I know a lot of marketers here. So I got my first client. I started working on a very limited task, because I said I don't want to be employed. I don't want to get too much work. Give me something small. I will execute to keep myself busy. I don't want. Now I'm becoming a senior consultant for them, and I lead their team for them, the marketing team that they have, because the company is great. It calls Nimbella. It's a serverless platform which been established, which been co-founded by Indian lady. She's from Delhi. She lives in the US for the last 20 years. Her name is Anshu Agarwal. We got gelled very well, like very, very well. We got gelled with her. And that's how I start taking more and more. Then we discuss. I got some stock in the company, and etc. Because I start delivering more, and my interest to come back is increased. Then in the middle, we opened a growth marketing agency with my friend, with whom I'm friend for the last 7 years, I think.
Just
And we
give me a
defined,
moment. I think the charger is not working. I'll just plug in. I'm
sure,
just here.
sure. So
Sure.
with my friend, I co-founded the marketing agency. We got 3 clients. It was pretty simple for me because I have a pretty good reputation in the market. So the client and lead generation and acquire clients was not that difficult. As the most difficult was to deliver and to hire the good talent in India. That was the biggest challenge which we face. And at the end of the day, where we failed with Anna, growth marketing. What means growth marketing? When you actually align well paid channels and organic channels, and everything work towards one goal, right? Both paid and organic ways. And we are great in organic ways, but I'm not a SEM expert. I really know the basic stuff of Facebook ads, of Google ads. I really know the basic stuff. I'm not SEO expert, which also goes as a part of growth strategy. SEO, thanks to SEMrush, I know much more, but again, I've never done it by my hands, that stuff. So we got 3 clients, which I was working day and night. We were paying salary to 2 guys, which were delivering not that much value, because it's very difficult to manage people who are not self-driven remotely. That's why people who are not self-driven and self-motivated, I think, can't sustain a remote job and get all benefits. That's why the cry that office chai got over, where they can chit-chat and have cup of tea and network with colleagues. Because in remote work, nobody cares how many hours do you work. People care what result do you deliver at the end of the day. I can work today full day. I can get up at 7 a.m. or at 5 a.m. and I can complete my work at 12 a.m. next, and I even sometimes can forget to eat lunch, but I deliver no matter what. The next day, I can manage such my life that I'm full day with Elena, playing with her, going out with her, and I don't work. I just maybe answer some emails which I'm receiving or on Slack or something. I just manage like that. It's suitable and workable for me because I enjoy time with my family. And I enjoy the time seeing how my daughter is growing. It's my priority. I did not miss any being so loaded, so tired, earning money, growing. I did not miss her first steps, first words, first gifts, first some kind of anything, nothing I miss because it's my priority. I always can shift other, knowing, okay, tomorrow I'm working from 7 a.m. till 12 a.m. But that's a price I pay to see such kind of amazing life moments. I'm able to travel, even right now the borders closed. Before pandemic happened, I had few international flights already bought in advance, but everything stopped. But then once the lockdown got released, we went to Goa. We stayed for a month in Goa. Then again we went to Goa. Then again we went to Goa. But it's still refreshing. I keep kidding around Goa because I've been 15 times. I think it's too much. But currently, in our situation, when we have a small child, international flights are not working well. It's the best place for us to go is Goa. Okay, get best out of the situation you are. So I took the best. So I'm able to manage and enjoy my life. I'm able to live the life, not only to work. That's what I realized when I got the first burnout, that work could not be 100% of your life. But I also pay my price. When people think that, especially on Instagram, because what will I put as a working person on Instagram? That how I sit in front of the laptop and keep typing, keep writing down and marking the task ready. That's only the content which I can put on my work. Sometimes if campaign release and it's a public something announcement, of course I can put it. But otherwise, nobody could share some privacy, some private information of the company, some data, or any future plans, because it's again the client, right? I became an advisor and I got a stock from other Russian company who is expanding right now in India. It's leading Russian edtech, like leading Russian edtech in data science and data analytics. They're coming into India in a big way. And I became an advisor for them. And so I'm very excited to see their way. And I'm very excited to see how they will grow. It's called Coding and Readers. And they provide the top education, the quality of education, which I'm very relate to, like what I'm ready to sign my face for, and a high quality education, when people are getting employed almost 100%, like job placement is guaranteed. If anybody wants to go for data science or data analytics works, that's something which I'm responsible. I have one more client whom I'm working as a consultant, and they pay me per hour base when they need some consultancy. And Make Success, the agency which we shut down once we complete the 3 months contract, and I was so happy that I completed this 3 months contract, because literally at that point of time, again, we were both working with Anna non-stop, serving 3 clients, 3 SaaS companies which we got. And it was extremely difficult, because the guys who used to work remotely, they were not sometimes doing great job. And for me, it was very difficult to fix it, being not ACM person, especially from paid part. So a lot of things was, that was our
Not
primary reason why we shut it. I realized as a consultant, I can earn more and work less. But now we're again starting it up. How we shut, we just let people go, ask them to go, and we kept everything on pause. We decided not to sign any contract. 3 months quarter got over. We told the guys we are not extending our contract. We are not going for it. We apologize for it, because usually people want to continue with the agency that realize them. So we kept this. We faced the shame when we said that we are not signing contract again and we are not going ahead. We are so sorry. And now we are starting PR agency, because PR sounds for a lot of people as something magic and something very difficult to do. But for me, it's so simple. Like, PR is the easiest task which ever I can handle. Like, I put minimum efforts. I know a lot of journalists in India. I have my journalist database. I know how to pitch. I know different agencies. And we don't work with Indian clients. We already got 2 clients. But we work with international clients who want to expand in India. That's what I learned last year. I helped these guys, coding invaders, to expand in India and tech sector through my connections, through PR, through media pitch. And I realized that I can do it for others, and they can charge professional fees for it. So right now we just finalizing our new website, because previous we shut down because we don't want any leads to come as a growth marketing agency to us. It will be nightmare if anybody would come and tell that they are signing us as a growth marketing agency. So we're reworking website. We are doing now PR consultant and PR media relationship services, because it's super easy. It's super easy for me. Super duper easy. And
the operative word is, it is super easy for you, because of and I can totally connect the dots that, listening to your history, I think you have always been a connector, and I know it for sure, because I've seen you at SEMrush, I've seen you at the conference, and I know that you naturally, genuinely connect with people, and I think that's your superpower.
yeah,
And that's why I think PR is coming naturally and super easily to you.
yeah, absolutely, because it's something which I'm very good to connect people. I do it a lot without serving anything. When I see somebody and I know in my network as a person, and they will get beneficial from being connected, as per my thoughts, I always see win-win situation. Of course, I don't charge anything. I just connect, and I say I leave over to you. But that helps me. That people in future also help me when I need it, because I help.
Right.
I don't feel shy to ask for help. And I had
I
a
agree.
session with Jatin from HI, and he asked me a question from the person from some other entrepreneur. How often do you ask help? The question was this, and I said every day. Every single day I ask somebody to help me. Every single day. But I said in the reverse, I every single day help somebody else without any benefit for myself. I just do it so naturally, because I feel that that's how the one route. I ask for help, somebody else asks help from me. I connect, somebody connect me. So that's how the ball keeps
Correct. The
rolling.
ball keeps rolling. Yes,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. So I have a question for you. Like, Yulia, so when you left SEMrush conference, you had no plans at all. You just took a break for 2 months. No
Zero
plans.
plan.
And then after 2 months, you actually started to think, and then you started make success immediately.
No. I got the thoughts that I'm ready to go back and I want to work as a consultant on a very limited work. And I think universes can hear me because immediately our common person, our common friend, I think you know him, Malhar Barai. Malhar connected me with Nimbala immediately on the same day when I
Oh
thought
wow.
that I
Oh
want to
yes,
become a
Nimbella
consultant.
happened. Yeah. Yes.
So Nimbala happened. Then I started going to Nimbala. Then I
So
realized,
how
okay,
did this happen? Because someone and most of us who are not doing this stuff, who are in a full-time job, it it looks very complicated. We don't know how to start. So how did Nimbella happen? How did Malhar spoke to you? You went and spoke to people. How all of this was figured out? Like you went ahead and started speaking to people. How exactly this happens?
see the first point which I've done. When I left SEMrush, I want only one thing, that people would not think that I got fired. Because that's also a chance, possible chance. So I did everything from my personal branding perspective, by making people know that I left on my own. I've not got
Yeah.
fired. So
Yeah.
the way how I've done it, I publicly put it on my social media accounts, on Facebook, on Instagram, that I left SEMrush. I I received like good comments from previous colleagues with whom I have a great relationship. So people knew that I'm not fired. It means that my professionalism is not under the doubt part, right? Then I announced that I'm burnout, and that's the reason why I very openly said I burnout. Don't touch me. I Because once I announced that I left SEMrush, I got three job offers from different SaaS companies who want to hire me, and they said that let's start the discussion. And I told them that I would not tell you no, but for forever, but for now, in the current stage after burnout, it would be no, because I can't work now. I need energy to work. And I stayed in touch with these two companies. One company, I'm playing the role as a consultant, with the per hourly when they need some advice. Because one more superpower which I have, which I discovered because of coach, how I understood that I'm good in connecting people. It's easy maybe for you to understand, but when you're inside of yourself, you can't understand figure it out on your own. What is your superpower? So with my coach, I figure out that I'm a great in connecting people. It's natural, it's in my blood. And the second superpower which I have, I know how to scale. I help businesses to scale. I can give 1 million variants to other people to scale. How to scale, what to do, the execution plan and everything, but I would not do it on my own, on my hands, because it takes a lot of time. It takes really a lot of time too. But I can direct and I can tell, see, I can analyze the data. I know how to scroll data now. I have hard skills thanks to SEMrush. I can get any data which I want if it's needed, from Google at least, and social media. Uh, because of these hard skills, I can analyze and I can give the suggestion how to scale. So my second superpower is scalability. I help business to scale. And it also comes so natural to me. So it's in my blood. I see and I tell that, okay, this is the way how you can scale quickly, and this win-win to other people. Like, for example, how Nimbella is scaling. There is nothing to hide. I can speak openly. Because in why I always give Nimbella as an example, they're not the only client for me. But why? Because with others, I have a confidential contract. I can't speak about it, like honestly speaking, because they would not like it. But Nimbella
Yeah.
and Shu is absolutely fine. She's my biggest reference in the US. She's the person who's recommended me in the other US startups. And of course, it's much more pleasant to receive dollar payment than rupee payment. Believe me, it's much more pleasant.
Absolutely. I agree.
So that's how I actually going that I like Nimbella. I said, okay, you're a serverless platform. The first adoption which shall happen to you, it should come either from developers, either through agencies who are also promoting serverless technology and having different clients. So let's have some kind of affiliate program. with serverless agencies, let's provide them unlimited cloud access for 6 months. It's very expensive affair. But you will receive all feedback about how your product runs. You will receive access through them to multiple corporates who is hiring agencies to create serverless apps. Through this, you will receive and see how exactly platform works, because you will have real-time users. And agencies are receiving affiliate if they suggest to some enterprise level, and they also receiving unlimited cloud, which is very expensive affair actually. So that's how scalability I offered to Nimbella, and it worked. We got product bugs, and after it, product team is still working to clear them. And to make developer campaigns is also very easy for me because it's brand. Like we created developer IPL game where through my connections we got as a key prize the personal autograph of Sachin Tendulkar. We're supposed to get from other players, but because of quarantine we could not get it. Then now we're doing Fast Wars. It's actually like a Star War. It's branded as a campaign. So some fun game activities which people want to spread news about, that they enjoy playing. So that's kind of second which I offered them. It doesn't mean that I execute everything on my own. I do a lot because in Nimbella I have a long-term vision in terms of I got a stock, and it's a new technology. It's a 4 years technology with a huge market size, and which is done by the right technical people. CTO, co-founder of Nimbella, Roderick, he is a co-founder of open source, which serverless is based on, the code, Apache OpenWhisk. So from technology perspective, there is no point. And I know that Nimbella will raise second round. Already my stock will increase. And I know that I'm sure we'll be successful in raising second round because it's her strength. She's a connector and she knows half of the Silicon Valley. And so I do a lot for them because I see a bright future also in the technology space. And also as a marketer, I feel that I came into SaaS marketing on the very right time when SaaS just started. And because of joining a great company, I was able to learn a lot about how it works in multiple ways. And SaaS was like this when, like, it's still like rocking yet. But if it was rocking like this, now it's rocking like this. But the second point, which is rocking now, and which is for marketers the right place to be, what I feel is developer-centric marketing. People don't know how to approach developers. And I'm again in the beginning of journey, where in a great company, where I can learn a lot how developer mind is working. So where I can see how to scale and I can expand. And it's a great learning platform. It's a top place for the next 3 years. I guarantee that developer-centric marketing for the next 3 or 5 years, it's a future. And India is it's like a capital of the world. They expect by 2025 to have 25 million developers in India. And India is a very hard market to work with you, because there's a lot of different perspectives and a lot of different mentality. People think different. So that's how my thought process, that developer-centric marketing is a top future, and I'm surely diving into it now because it will help me in future.
And then how did you decide? Of course, Nimbella happened, and then you thought that you should have, because I know you at one point in time, you had 3 businesses, if I'm not wrong. You were consulting, you then happened to make success. And
blogging.
Yeah,
and
sorry.
blogging. And blogging.
Yeah. So couple of questions, like, and I know guys, you should know that and I have I'm just repeating myself here to make it clear that Yulia has already superseded the income that she was making, which means she has figured out a successful model while consulting and having to spend quality time with Elena, her daughter. She is able to be more productive and is also earning more and is remote working. So all of this is happening together and it is possible. So Yulia, I would want you to spend some time. I know there is no linear process to this. you cannot say that you did this, and that's how one should do, and there is no formula. But how did you approach this problem, or how did you approach this situation where you are now independent? Perhaps you have your first client as Nabella. Now, what next? How did you answer this question for yourself? What next?
Hire a coach.
All
I fell from all
right, I will take your coach's number for sure. Yeah, but then how did your coach help you do that?
See, before opening an agency, we tried so many things which we were just trying, trial and error. Um, my strength is events, right, which we've done, and I'm experienced, and I know how to do. Event agency was out of the question because of pandemic situation. We shift to online model. We conducted couple of
And
events.
I would like to underline that point, that something that's your strength. Of course, you have multiple strengths, networking being one of them, and events being one of them. The event strength was of no use in the pandemic historic year when you actually left the job. So, yeah, please go ahead. Then, how did you overcome this
So
challenge?
the only way to figure out your formula is to try everything. What I'm very fast in decisions. Okay, something came to my mind, I will try it. I will try. I will give it a try. I failed. I left it. I'm moving on to the next idea. And that's how the situation happens. That I take one idea, fail, drop it. Take new idea, fail, dropped it. Take new idea, fail, dropped it. Take one idea, something worked out. Okay, let's stay with idea. Let's try to make it work better. If idea is working, that's how agency became, because that's we seen that we create a landing page and very quickly we received 3 clients. We thought that idea worked. That's how we gave idea the chance. But once we worked as an agency for 3 months, and we both met with my co-founder, we dropped it because we realized it's not working. No regrets, nothing. Okay, dropped it, forget it. Let's move on. That's the way how we start. We took a break. Anna also has other company which she's running her own online school for languages. She has online school, and then she has teachers for Spanish, for other languages, for Russian as well. So we took a break and pause, and we have a one board, a Notion, where we write down the ideas, because we know we are perfect co-founders. Anna is very systematic. She can organize everything. We are very comfortable and very open to speak to each other. There is no conflict. Even in conflict situation, we are able to communicate in such way that we support each other instead of fighting with each other. So we start dropping on the Notion, on the common board, whatever idea comes to us. And we decide 2 months, let's just drop all idea, and after 2 months speak. If nothing would work out, we will just be friends and we will drop everything. If something we see that can work out, we will discuss. So then in January, we had a session when we start going through the ideas which we were randomly putting during this 2 months break. And we understood that we both think on the same way, that PR is very easy, it's scalable, we don't need to hire much people, we don't even need to hire any full-time employee. We can have a freelancers, thanks to Upwork and freelancer.com. So we don't need to invest that much. We know how to acquire clients because of agency background and how to get them onboarded. Now the things that we just need to do, we need to create the right portfolio. And PR, I have a lot of experience, a lot of publications done for Nimbella, publications done for the other company which I'm consulting, but I still need to get approval to put it on the board. PR, I was handling for SEMrush, and it was crazy. We were receiving 70 publications in a month. That was our kind of and I left everywhere where I'm even living. I'm living in a good note. I never fight with people, no point, because whatever happens, it happens for the multiple reasons. So we decided, okay, let us give it a try. It doesn't mean that if I will speak in 6 months, I will tell, oh, Nidhi, I shut it down. It did not work out, because it was our assumption. But what I feel, that something would work out in the middle. After, I will try and drop and fail in 50 ideas, but one would work out. I don't give up. I failed.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. I felt
And
shame.
I like the I like the holding idea that fail faster. I think that's the spirit of entrepreneurship and startups. Something also that I learned during my stint at Did Pristine, that nimbleness and to fail faster is the key to figure out and compete with the biggies. Because if you are able to figure out, oh, this is not working, this is not working, a big company will take a lot to try something out and then fail because just sheer amount of people involved. But when you're in a startup or in a setup like freelancing or starting up on your own, failing faster, I think, and I absolutely agree, that is uh, key to success. But at the same time, when you are on your own, there is a huge amount of financial pressure, because if I'm saying something is not working out, which means this is no financial stream, zero financial stream. So how do you handle such situations? Because one client coming and you trying something, you have limited time, you have limited money coming in. How do you deal with such situations? How do you
See,
plan for such situations?
firstly, I take a financial kind of risk in terms of my capacity to take. I don't take it bigger, right, than I can. Secondly, that's what we discussed before the stream started. I'm a miser. I'm learning how to spend. I always saved. I have stock. I have Bitcoin. I have other things, which is giving me the feeling of security. Whatever happened, I have money. I know that I have something to save. And I also know the other quality of mine. I can live on a very tight budget, very tight, if it will be needed. I have husband. We live in our own property. We don't pay the rent or anything. Anil is also working. He has his own income. And I know if I will start earning zero, uh, we will not be on the roads. It will not happen that we have no food and no money to run the house. Maybe we will cut off on traveling. Maybe we will cut off on some 355 toys in a month for Alina or something else. But we will still have food, bread, butter on the table, and we will still have the place to live. So my financial planning, I think it's a more woman nature. That's what we discussed with Anil. Woman is usually, why much less women entrepreneurs? Because
Yeah,
entrepreneurship means risk. And woman, it's our nature. We are trying to avoid risk. We can take less risk. We are very
yeah.
careful. I can see it right now. My daughter is 2 years. How she runs. She sees that nothing is around. If there any step, she will ask me to give her help to calm down. How her friend, who is 3 months younger, who is 3 months younger, is running. Not saying anything, just run straight. There is a step ahead. Slow
That's a
down.
very good example.
Because man nature is like this. Man is more risk takers. And women are very careful. And I'm being a woman, of course, I'm very careful. I am much a risk taker. I'm not running behind. Like I will not say, okay, um, I'm starting something. I'm investing half of my savings immediately and going on a high speed or in an agency. We hired 2 people in India, 2. That's it. We still landed in profit after shutting it down. We earned money from agency. We did not lose money. We earned, but uh, uh, the price was
But the
our
experience was, yeah,
time.
yeah, yeah.
That was not the right scalable model for us, and then that was not the right thing. Like in terms of we did not lose, but it was not working model. We realized that it's going to the dead end. It's not going to the right direction. But I'm a person who would not take more risks than I can. I'm very careful. Right now we're starting PR agency. Okay, what we need? How much investment I need to start PR agency? I need to buy one tool, which I can buy a monthly subscription or I can buy a yearly subscription. If you will scale, you will buy yearly, it's more affordable. If no, it's monthly, but its cost will be bared by clients. I need to have some newswire access. There's multiple newswires in India, which again, I'm signing on a one-time contract. I will have less profit margin, but I will not need to pay monthly everybody like non-stop money. Okay, I don't need to hire even now. We realize I can hire a freelancer. I got a project, person wants to get it done. I'm hiring freelancer. I already have this base, the list of freelancers with whom I work, with whom I'm comfortable to work with. So, what is our investment here? Website. How much website costs? When you don't
Yeah.
have anything it's not even e-commerce, right? It's very, very limited expenditure, which just, believe me, would not hurt me at all. So
Correct.
I
Correct.
would say that the financial planning, make your base strong, make it strong. Learn how to live on a very tight budget. Learn how to live happily on a tight budget. Because when I joined startup in India and started again back after getting married to Anil, to be high workspace, I was receiving a fresher salary in India. It was ridiculous for me after knowing how much I can earn, but I was okay, and I was increasing my salary, and I have no barrier in speaking with the employer to increase my salary. That's a good point. I'm comfortable. I'm delivering the value. I can speak. I can tell that, see, this is a list of deliverables I conducted. This is how I feel that I work more. That minimum salary expenditure, I would like to speak with you. That's compensation I think I deserve. And when you deliver the money, the value, when the companies, to hire a good employee, it's a headache. It's a nightmare. Like, I was not able to hire a great employee for the agency. So always remember, when you work for a company, that to hire you, it costs a lot of money. Because HR shall please, it's a lot of time of them. Their time
Right.
costs money, right? It's not that difficult. Then the person just starting in this company, the person will need to learn. It's normal to get the time when the loan and then delivery happens. That's time is getting wasted. For the company, it's a loss. And if you're a good employee who is delivering value, they would prefer to avoid it and make increment in your compensation. Don't feel shy. You feel that you deserve more. You feel that you are uncomfortable to work for this amount of money. I also feel kind of sometimes tricky to ask. Like in Nimbella, I was feeling not very comfortable to increase my payment, right, with GP. But again, I take a help of coach. I'm going and tell and say, this is the situation. Nidhi will come back. This is the situation. That's what I feel, that I'm underpaid. And that's how I feel that if I'm underpaid, how can I speak with them to increase my compensation? And the coach also asking you such right questions. My coach helped me to create a script, which I followed, and I got what I wanted. Even though I thought that the jump is too high. It's too much jump, what I felt. But I felt that I'm not comfortable to work for the less amount of money. So make first financial yourself stable before taking risk. Calculate the risk which you are taking. Never put risks so high that can really destroy your family in terms of bread, butter, the place where you live. Learn how to live on a tight budget and how happily live on a tight budget. Make sure that your happiness is not connected with the money that directly. Because a lot of things are free in the life, which comes with no money. And then once you're ready, you will be comfortable to start. There will be nothing that hold on or keep you, in the doubt to start or not to start.
I think that's a wonderful summarization, Yulia, and I think we have all much to learn from your never giving up attitude, which is throughout your story. If someone is seeing your life just through Instagram filters, they might think that, oh, she's getting success easy. But I know, as a matter of fact, it's your story and it's your life journey that has added to what you're doing and how you're doing it at every single step. And like you said, that everybody has a story, all of us have some story, and I think all of us have certain skill sets or learnings out of our stories that we can use in a much better way. I know that starting up is a really courageous job, because it means allowing yourself to fail in a greater way. It means allowing to fail in front of others and not feeling ashamed of it.
I
Means
will
that,
interrupt here and tell everybody, never think that you will that somebody cares about your life.
yeah.
The truth is nobody cares. And when if you feel afraid of failing, of receiving fail in front of others, I won't disappoint you, nobody cares about your life. So take it easy.
True.
People busy with their
But
own life.
right. But we more often than not get stuck in that limbo where we feel that what other people will think and feel. And I think we need to again and again remind ourselves, if we are not able to do it, perhaps we should take a help of a coach or a therapist, like you said, and we should again not be ashamed of going ahead and taking that help. I know too many people in my circle, including myself, because I have a husband who can support me, so I don't need to go out. But a lot of us take help, and it really is. It helps us succeed. Is I would like to put it. It's how,
It
yeah,
helps you because we are human being. Our brain wants always to go to the safe zone. Always. What you already know, safe zone, that's what brain is focused to keep us in safe zone, to keep this monkey away from big trees, because you can fall down and you can die. And brain is doing everything to keep the zone safe. But zone safe is not a zone of growth. To come out from there, you shall take a help of a professional expert who can direct you and at least show you the window from this safe zone. If not, it will be the door. At least you can see that something could be outside. Because till the time you
right.
don't see this outside, you will never to go be able to go there. So I think it's key, and especially in such kind of world which we are living now, which is changing that fast. Who could expect pandemic change everything? Nobody.
Yeah.
Uh, who could expect that property system properties at hotel will completely need to shift and change their models? Who could expect that the most privileged industry to work with, traveling, any traveling, like it was privilege for marketers to work in something like Make My Trip
Right.
or anything? Who would expect that they will lay off so many people during the pandemic?
Right.
Who could expect that investment into commercial property, which was supposed to be the most stable and much less risky than and much more profitable than houses, right? And not commercial, will become completely useless and half of banks still empty? Nobody. So we live in the world where there is no safety and there is no stability and guarantee, and it's difficult to accept. But once you accept it, you feel lighter. You don't have the baggage to carry with you to move on.
I completely agree. And with that, I would like to thank Yulia for to come on our channel and spend time with us and share such powerful story, which is very inspiring and very practical. And I think much to learn from you. I would love to have you back on the channel to talk more on the marketing side of things and the stuff that you have been doing. Perhaps we can connect again and plan for another live. But guys, if you have any questions, do comment. Let us know what you feel about remote working, what you feel about starting up. If you have any questions, please do comment. I'll get back to Yulia again to get the answers. And see you again. Bye
Yes,
bye.
see you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.